Get up, dumbass, we're trapped in Granny's house. You probably won't believe me when I say this, but Granny the mobile horror game from 9 years, yes, 9 years ago, was one of the most underrated and one of the greatest horror games of all time. While it has been absolutely memed to death and sucked dry by whatever the hell this shit is, its PC remake might just be one of the greatest horror experiences you could ever spend your hard-earned money on.
Mom, can you give me some money, please? Mom, can you give me some money, please? Stop fucking around!
Like everything popular and good, its cultural impact has led to many people trying to cash in on its niche, resulting in inspired projects ranging from poop to shit. If you can swallow your pride and look past this, you'll find that Granny, on a technical level, is one of the greatest horror games of all time. Basically, you take the shoes of Logan Paul and yet again another forest.
I really hate to say this.
But this time, someone's finally gonna give you what you had coming for a long time.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
After you're knocked unconscious, you wake up in Granny's cabin, a place of old furniture, torture devices, and extremely creaky floorboards. The front door has been locked up, boarded, and electronically sealed. In addition, the backyard has been completely walled off with a barbed wire fence, and the nearest car looks like it tried to park in Detroit. One thing is clear though, someone really doesn't want you getting out. And if the warnings inscribed on the walls aren't obvious, you only have 5 days to do so. Granny has trapped you in her house, and you are now locked in a pitch black escape room, where failure to escape means being put on the menu.
Oh, that's a dead guy.
Everything you need to escape is hidden throughout the house, from keys to car parts, and hell, a shotgun, why not? Granny, whose hobbies range from cannibalism to washing dishes, is a murderous, walking corpse who will not hesitate to smack you upside the head if she so much as catches a glimpse of you conscious.
Did you just break that vase?
While her sight is inconsistent enough to classify her as legally blind, her hearing is what makes her a terrifying threat. Whenever a sound is made, whether it be the creaking floorboards, the dropping of an object, or even something as quiet as a piece of paper hitting the floor, Granny will know exactly where that sound came from, and will rush over there with the fastest speed that the difficulty allows. Granny rushes towards you incredibly unnaturally, further leaning into the idea that whatever she is, it isn't human. Either that or she has polio. Granny's already turned your imprisonment into a game, and someone who can drop to the floor and crawl at the speed of a car, deliberately choosing not to enter crawl spaces tips off the fact that we aren't getting the full picture. Sure, she is an old lady, but she's incredibly durable, being able to recover from tranquilizers, gunshots, being steamed alive, and hell, being frozen. All of these, Granny is able to recover from in a matter of minutes to even seconds. If I hit that bitch with a car and all it does is inconvenience her, I might as well write my will in that house. Complementing this durability and spatial awareness, Granny is incredibly strategic. She's kitted out with an endless supply of teethed bear traps. Where she keeps them, I don't really want to know. Granny will place these traps in the most inconvenient spots known to man. There was literally nothing I could do. There was physically nothing I could do. Ensuring that whatever progress you have navigating a part of the house is shot dead in the water. When Granny blocks your path with a bear trap, I hate this woman, dude. You either have to disarm it, which will alert her to your location, or take another route completely and pray to God that you can do so silently. On higher difficulties, with more bear traps and a faster Granny, this can turn holes in your strategies into massive gaping wounds, ensuring that no plan is ever 100% foolproof. Granny's main strength is her hearing, but it can be used against her. She has constant audible awareness of the whole house, but you have to remember one thing. Granny is senile as hell. As such, whenever she hears a noise, she'll bolt over to its location without a second thought. With that lack of critical thinking skills, you can drop an item somewhere inconvenient for her to reach, and she'll fully commit to locating it, regardless of how long it takes her. There's many crawl spaces in the map that kind of serve as checkpoints to keep you safe from Granny.
I am gonna feast on those cheeks, boy.
By dropping items directly outside of their entrances, you can lure Granny to the other side of the map. This can be helpful when you're right by a puzzle and you need to get Granny to take a walk somehow. One of the few saving graces that you have in this place is that Granny's hips broke down 50 years ago, and she can't bend over to save her life. This also explains why she smells like shit, because she can't bend down to use the toilet.
What did you say?
However, them hips don't stop Granny from hitting the hardest plank I've ever seen. Granny's stupidity can also play against you, as her blindness will cause her to run into objects and startle even herself. If you're unlucky enough for this to happen, which, spoiler alert, it will, Granny will forget entirely about the noise that you made to distract her. And if you're oblivious to this, you may walk in on her fornicating with a mannequin, which 9 times out of 10 will result in you getting your shit rocked. Which, that's what a good horror villain does. Granny's not overpowered, but she's horrifying to try and manage. Yeah, she's terrifying to deal with. But when you're trying to escape the house on top of that, it's much worse. There are 3 main exits to the house, which there's 4 if you count letting it happen. The front door, the cool route, and the sewers, all of which have their own specific items and puzzles you'll need to find and solve to get out. And a lot of these items are in what I like to call risky spots, so you'll have to weigh safety over progress a lot throughout your time here, which is another thing I really like about Granny. The only way to progress through the game is to put yourself in constant danger. With Granny being able to outrun you in higher difficulties, there's nothing more satisfying in this game than pulling off a puzzle and escaping to a safe zone before Granny can scoot her geriatric ass to your location. It's intense. I absolutely love it. While some items are shared between exits, most of them are exclusive, and putting in a lot of effort to solve a puzzle just to find an item that you don't need means that this game is full of high-risk situations that yield no reward. The watermelon is my favorite item in the game, and whenever I break it open to not find the padlock key, but the sewer door key, I think a few brain cells die in my head. But it tickles, so I'm not too mad. The idea that you don't know that whatever you're doing is going to be worth it makes this game so much scarier, because you really don't have any other choice but to blindly put yourself in danger for stuff that you don't even know is going to pay off. And for some reason, Granny really wants you to know that she likes putting things inside of fruit, which, like, power to you, Grandma, but I don't care. Granny's house is incredibly risky to traverse. Every turn is littered with objects and creaky floors that'll blow your cover in less than a second. In addition to this, there are multiple spots where your curiosity or your ignorance can cost you a day.
My ears burn.
If an angry old lady isn't enough of a threat, then perhaps the risk of the floor caving in or getting Kaczynski'd will ensure you think twice before completing any unfamiliar actions. See that closet over there? Probably an item in there. Here, let me just go grab it and... A booby-trapped 3-story house would not be complete, however, without a sewer, containing what might be the single scariest thing I've ever encountered in a video game. I physically cannot understate the amount of raw fear that I experience whenever this thing bolts at me from the dark. I already can't see shit down here, but what I can do is hear it, and I don't like that either. And a good horror game should have a part that you dread, not because it's unfun, but because the amount of tension in it is enough to stop my damn heart, which is another thing I really like about this game. Regardless of your intended exit, you'll eventually have to visit the sewer, which I absolutely dread.
You know, John Lennon was alive to see the last time Grady shit.
And at that point, shitting your pants becomes a mandatory part of beating the game. It's already enough I have to wander a dark house with an old lady in it. The spider the size of a large dog isn't a cherry on top. It's a whole ass turkey. It may take you a few playthroughs of dying over and over again to figure out what you're actually doing, but throughout that, you'll learn the different items, safe zones, and the best methods of keeping Granny at bay. And now playing any game on repeat will 100% desensitize you to its fear factor. However, that problem can be fixed by upping the game to its highest difficulty. Extreme mode, or the only viable way to play this game, is the optimal Granny experience. Granny is significantly smarter, faster, and has completely cut off your access to this crawl space, or as we people on the spectrum would refer to it as, the meta. Lawyers have the bar exam. Marines have the crucible. Chuds have Granny Extreme mode. Let the man who has beaten Granny on Extreme cast the first stone. In Extreme mode, your knowledge of the house, your ability to think in multiple different places at once, and your ability to improvise will be tested. Not only does this mode amp up the difficulty, but it allows every game mechanic, every location, and every threat to perform at their fullest effectiveness. Granny has 2 pets in her house, both of which can be dealt with by the shotgun. However, upon shooting them, Granny will enter this mode where her eyes glow red, and she'll be aggroed on you until either you or she goes unconscious. This isn't a problem in any other mode, but if you aren't right by extra ammo, 9 times out of 10, you will die. In Extreme mode, Granny has installed a V8 engine in her legs, and trying to outrun her is like being a deer getting chased by a Ford F-150. You cannot afford to run from Granny, as chances are you'll be knocked out before you can even register that she's chasing you.
God damn!
There are multiple spots in the house that are now considered dead ends, where exiting these areas is now a matter of how can I divert Granny, how much time can I buy myself, and if that purchased time is enough to make it somewhere safe before Grandma successfully delivers belt to ass. Her wandering speed is also much slower, meaning that once you've lost her aggro, she could still be no more than 10 feet away from your location. Add in the creaking floorboards littered throughout the house, and you're in a pretty bad situation.
Holy.
The only way to get out of the house is to continuously force yourself into these situations. In any other difficulty, trips to certain rooms are quick and easy, but in expert mode, you have to be constantly cognizant of Granny's location, speed, and her bear traps. If she's in your line of sight, outrunning her is off the table, so trying to get away is an absolutely cheek-clenching experience. This is what an amazing horror game does. It doesn't just offer intense scenarios, it practically forces you into them. Danger becomes mandatory if you want to progress the game, and experiencing it doesn't guarantee you'll make any progress, it just gives you a mere shot at it. And even once you've escaped a situation like this, you still have to weigh efficiency against stealth, as chances are, she'll still catch you if you're too loud regardless of the distance. Granny knows the fastest route to your location the second you make a noise, and she'll spare no time getting to you. Your only hope now is to utilize your environment, her own abilities, and the short windows you're granted by stunning her. Granny's Extreme Mode is a horror game done right on a technical level. It's an experience where regardless of your skill level, shit can still hit the fan horribly, as Granny is even more unpredictable in her actions. You're constantly forced into incredibly uncomfortable situations where your knowledge of the game and your ability to traverse the house efficiently are shoved into their limit. That uncertainty and expectancy to perform at your best is exactly what a horror game should be, because it keeps you scared. If this game does not hold your hand one bit, and for that, I love this game, man. Damn, I think I scared myself. You know, I think that's all I got for this one, Haas. Granny is heat. Play it now. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. If it's not too much, please like and subscribe. It's completely free, I promise. I will not be charging you any money. Which we're halfway to 1,000, so your support genuinely means the world to me. And with that, I hope you have an amazing rest of your week.